Hey everyone, thank you for joining me once again, Laura Wayman, the Dementia Whisperer, for my weekly Facebook Live show. Today, I'm talking about overcoming the stigma of dementia and how if we don't learn to overcome this, it can cause dangerous isolation for the caregiver. Stigma is defined as a mark of shame. When we stigmatize people, we engage in discrimination against them because of their backgrounds, attributes, or circumstances, such as dire medical illnesses. By steering clear of people with stigmatized diseases, such as AIDS, schizophrenia, even cancer, it's as if we're trying to protect ourselves from catching their conditions. The same type of stigmatization has occurred with dementia as our society ages and more Americans experience severe cognitive decline. We want to be supportive of these unfortunate individuals, many of whom are not just our family, but perhaps our neighbors, our colleagues, acquaintances. But we're fearful we may one day suffer the same scourge. We therefore draw back, often subconsciously, to avoid being reminded of that threat. And in the process, we hurt people with dementia symptoms already victimized by an unrelenting disease, and we hurt their grieving family caregivers. So let's talk about how we can get around stigma. First of all, see the fear for what it is. It should be inexcusable that people abandon us during our hour of need, but when faced with something terrifying, often fear overrides reason and even love as survival instincts kick in. Not everyone is built for handling crisis or even being a dementia caregiver. We don't know who we can really rely on in a fix until it happens. It's best for us to see those who backpedal when they should come forward as flawed, not malicious. As difficult as it sounds, we must try not to take their emotional limitations personally. Oh, and beware of shaming self-stigma. Sometimes it isn't just others who regard dementia with overpowering trepidation. We may too, by feeling ashamed of our loved ones' embarrassing behaviors and then shielding them from others to attempt to preserve their dignity. But I will warn you, that sends signals that only strengthen the inclination of friends and relatives to shy away with the rationale of respecting our wishes. If we want others to be there for us through dementia caregiving, then we must have enough courage to keep reaching out to them with openness and honesty. And if they ask you how you're doing, don't answer fine. It's easy to assume that no one really wants to know how we're doing, even if they ask as a conversational courtesy. But it's a mistake to respond with a one-word perfunctory non-answer. Instead, create a short script that accurately reflects both the negative and positive of how the caregiving is going. It's a small but telling way to help others gain a more realistic and empathetic understanding and assessment of what it's like to live with dementia, unclouded by misconceptions or fear. And be dementia aware. Create teachable moments. Stigma thrives with ignorance and inexperience, and exposing others to living with dementia increases their familiarity and reduces their fear. But the right conditions must hold for this to be successful. Reach out to an individual friend, not to a whole group, and invite them to lunch at your home with you and your cognitively impaired loved one. Sometimes avoidance is simply due to the lack of understanding of how to act, a lack of dementia awareness. And during your time together, show your guest how you respond to awkward situations, how you've learned to do it the dementia-aware way by gently steering conversations back on track or stroking your loved one's arm when they seem agitated. Keep the conversation positive, low-key, and light in quiet surroundings so that everyone is put at ease and can successfully participate. If the visit is enjoyable and the meeting relatively short, then it will become evident to your guest that your loved one's not crazy, only challenged. And then one successful visit should beget others and decrease dementia stigma all along the way. Once again, if my message has not been clear, we must take on as individuals the responsibility of raising dementia awareness, starting as that individual, and then growing to our family and our friends, to organizations, to entire communities, and of course, to the entire world. Join me in my I Am Dementia Aware campaign now by emailing me at help@laurawayman.com or visiting my website, laurawayman.com. Together, we can provide the necessary love and support to all those with dementia symptoms, as well as everyone who cares for them or deals with them on a daily basis. Oh, a quick note before I sign off today, I will be out of the office until October 16th and will resume my Facebook Live shows at that time. So I'll see you in October. And join me next Saturday, September 19th at 7 a.m. Pacific Standard Time as I raise dementia awareness worldwide at the virtual Family Caregiver Tips and Resources Senior Conference. You don't want to miss this conference. Taking part online September 18th and 19th, and they will have many other amazing presenters and resources for caregivers. This is essential, and this is sponsored by Find Houston Senior Care, AARP Texas, and Care Partners. Email me for details on how you can register for this important caregiver conference. You don't want to miss this kind of information as a caregiver. Signing off until mid-October. With love, the Dementia Whisperer.